Okay, so we've got the scam PC, as I like to call it. Uh, did come in with the bad graphics card, but it had the RX 5500 in it, which we probably weren't going to be using anyways. But we want to see if we can take the scam PC and just make it better. Um, Went through and kind of figured out the things we can do. We can go up to a 5700G. The power supply was pretty lacking, but they do make a standard HP 500 watt power supply that should be able to power most of the graphics cards that we're going to need. Um, we're running like the kind of mid tier 3000 series, low tier 3000 series, really. But can we take a scam PC from eBay that was $200? We'll throw a power supply is a little on the pricey side, it's $100. The 5700G, another $100, and then we have a 3060 Ti, which I got on eBay for about $200. So about $400 altogether. In our $225 PC, it takes us to $625. And is it worth $625? I mean, is this something that could you go out? I mean, I'm sure you could probably go out and duplicate this without buying this scam PC from eBay. So maybe don't go that route. But let's do some testing and see how everything works out. All right, so we're going to run the 3D Mark Time Spy score just to see where we're at with these upgrades. Our previous 3D Mark Time Spy score with the Ryzen 5 5600G and the I think we did a 1650 GTX 1650 because the obviously the card that came in this, the RX 5500, was bad. It was bad right out the box. But they're both 4 gig cards. They're both very similar in processing power and everything like that. So we wanted to stick with that just to be as true to what the system would have come with. But now we have the Ryzen 5700G and we're running a 3060 Ti and we're running 32 gigs of RAM, where before it only came with 8 gigs of RAM. Although the listing said 16, it only came with 8. So our previous Time Spy score was like 3900 and 3900 and some change, like 3985 or something along those lines. So we'll see with these upgrades what kind of score we can be running now. All right, survey says, let's see what we've got. We have a score of 10,080. So we went from 3985 to 10,080. Let's see. Fortnite 1440p, we should be running 55 FPS. We were running at 1080p because we had 1080p monitor hooked up to this. 65 and 1440 on GTA. Red Dead 2, 40 frames per second. But I mean, we're running 1080p monitor with this setup. This is a 1080p setup as all day long. But 115 frames per second Red Dead, not going to complain about that. So we went from, and we're even on the low end of what people running this same setup are doing. So we must be doing something wrong, right? I do have a feeling that that has to do with that HP standard motherboard, because I don't think we're getting the best performance out of the things that are in there. But we huge improvement. This thing's running great, so I will not complain about this computer one bit. For the $625 that we're into this thing for, is it a great deal? I mean, when you start looking at new options out there, yeah, I think it's better than a lot of the new options that you're going to go buy. Could you find a used pre-build or somebody's used gaming PC on Marketplace for better? Yeah, probably. But for this, I think this is a great running little machine. The one main thing that I want to bring up that this computer is doing is that this entire video, between the recording of all the gameplay, recording of the audio, recording all of these things here, this is all through a webcam through the computer. Running the gameplay while running OBS and all of this. This is all being done on this scam PC. So everything that you're seeing and hearing right now, and everything that the video is being edited on this scam PC, everything from start to finish of this video, and all the gameplay and all the things that we're doing is all done on this scam PC. So I think that's a huge win for anybody that wants to get into content creating. If you wanted to get into being able to stream, if you wanted to be able to get into making videos like this, uh, this thing is just handling everything that I can throw at it, and I think I'm gonna call that a win. All right, so we are 1080p. Um, let's see. Looks like everything's turned off. No frame gen, no upscaling, no nothing like that. Just native 1080p. We'll run through this benchmark test and see what happens. Let's see. So 100% GPU bottleneck, average 63 frames per second. I'm gonna call that a win. CPU driver does look like the GPU driver is out of date or below the recommended thing. So maybe we'll update that and see if anything changes. So let's hop out of this, get into a game, and see what we can find out. See how it plays. Let's find a match.
Hard point.
All right.
Playtime's over. Let's see what you're made of.
My daily challenge is Molotov kills, so we're just gonna keep throwing them. But it looks like you know, we're staying pretty close, 70, 80 FPS. And it's super smooth, playable, very nice experience. I'm not complaining one bit. I might be doing good, but the game's running great. That's no fault of the game. Alright, so 21 and 18 was basically just Molotovs. I'm gonna call that a win. We came into a losing team, so, and we're running 75 FPS most all the time, native, everything. So we'll call that a win for Black Ops. All right, now here we are in Fortnite. Let's see what we can make happen. I suck more at Fortnite than I do at Call of Duty, so this should be interesting. It's not going to be great. I constantly think about Call of Duty buttons while I'm playing, so I keep thinking, it keeps telling me oh, you can't build here, and I'm like, I'm not trying to build, I'm trying to slide. But let's just get into this. So far, nice and smooth. Let's shoot for this farm. There's a lot of people over there. Okay, we got a gun. Step in the right direction. But running 120 frames per second. Maybe that's capped because we're not going any higher than that. I'll take that. We got a kill, so we're not doing that bad. Another one. Got him. We'll take that. Another one. Ah, 5th place. Whatever. I did as good as I could. But overall, playable. 120 frames per second. Did great. I just suck at the game, but I got 5th place. So, hey, there we go. All right, so here we are in Marvel Rivals. Um, let's get this thing going, see how this does. And see what we can do. Now, when it comes to Marvel Rivals, I probably am worse at this than I am at both Call of Duty and Fortnite. So don't expect much, but we'll just see if we can, how good it looks. For some reason, the NVIDIA FPS never seems to work for this game. I'm not 100% sure why. Yeah, I would say, I mean, so far we're not really having any issues or anything like that.
You cannot forsake the people of your own kingdom.
Ooh, that was quick. Yep. Cool. Oh, what the heck? And I'm dead again. Yep, dead again. Wow, the game runs great, looks great. I just happen to suck at this game. Let's try changing heroes. Let's see. Let's go with Punisher. And I'm dead again. I am not good at this game, but the computer is good at running the game, so that's really all that matters. I got a kill. And I got blown up. Yeah, we lost. But realistically, the game runs great. The computer's doing good. It's doing what it is. I suck at this game, but you know, the computer is doing its part. So that's all you can ask for, right? Maybe just get good. So, all in all, the PC's running good. Is this something that somebody could do that doesn't necessarily want to build their own PC? Yeah. If you're on a budget, I mean, you can afford the $225 gaming PC. You can buy one of these, play with it until you can kind of save up here and there to be able to get, you know, better components as you go. You know, upgrade the graphics card, upgrade the CPU, upgrade the RAM, things along those lines. So anybody could, you know, anybody that can set aside $225 and go on eBay and has time to look for this kind of stuff, sure, you're great, you're golden. Would I do something like this again? No. I would just build the things from scratch. I would just save up over time. But if saving up over time means that you don't have something to play until you get all of your pieces together. This would be a way to at least spend $225 to get something to be able to run it and play it, be ready to go. Ours obviously came with the bad graphics card, so you would right out the gate have to end up replacing the graphics card. But I'm sure that there's other eBay sellers out there that aren't scammy, that don't sell them as good working PCs that actually have good working graphics cards. We just happened to get the scam PC. So I do have some more testing to do because I think that the pre-built console and motherboard and things like that are holding it back a little bit. There's no way to enable resizable bar, even though Ryzen 5 series should have resizable bar. There's no way of clocking the RAM where with an aftermarket motherboard you would be able to clock your RAM. This is automatically reading, and I had to like go through a handful of different sets of sticks of 32 gigs total to see which one would run at the highest speed. And oddly enough, between like Corsair and Vengeance and all these other RAM sticks that I had, a factory Dell set of 32 gigs to 216 gig sticks ran the fastest when I put this in there. I think it was like 21 or 2666, but the RAM is actually clocked for a higher speed. So I do think it's holding us back a little bit. So we're going to try to swap everything over to an actual like aftermarket motherboard like an Asus or something like that, and see if we can get even more performance gains out of this, because I do think it's holding us back a little bit. But this is a great place for somebody that wants to get into gaming, to where they can start and they can play games like this. We've been playing games for the last 2 hours. It's been great. I haven't had any problems. Everything's been running great. So stay tuned. We are going to do some swapping of parts on this to see if the pre-built configuration is holding us back, or if we can squeeze some more juice out of the parts that came in this. But yeah, there we go. Thanks.